this thing going. How we do it? You do roll call?
Yes, sir. Chair Ottinger. Vice Chair Newland.
Here.
Secretary Patterson.
Here.
Board Member Heine. Heine. Haney. Board Member Short.
Here.
Board Member Wells. Here. And Board Representative Heck. Here. All right, you have a quorum.
And can we, get a motion, I hope I'm doing this right, motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Do I do that?
We need a second.
A second.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Then you just say all in favor.
All right, I think the minutes are probably next.
You say all in favor and we vote on it.
Oh, gee,
It's all right.
all in favor of
Aye.
approving the agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? They're approved. Bang. Approval of minutes. Do we have a,
Mayor's not here, so I think we're still gonna,
They're in the packet.
they're in the packet.
this packet?
Yeah.
Online.
Not included in the packet.
Online.
And I will admit, I forgot to.
I can give you the link to have some packet.
I think I might have them right here if you want them.
So is there a motion to approve the minutes? Or I make a motion to approve it. Anybody read the minutes?
I read some, I did not attend the meeting though, so
Yeah.
nothing stood out to me, so. Does anybody, I have like at the agenda at least from that meeting, if anybody wants to take a look.
So there is a, can the chair make a motion? Doesn't matter. I second that motion to approve the minutes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Cool, they're passed. And I will read it later. Actions and presentation. An update. Meeting with town administrator. Public Works. I don't know who is doing that, because I was not here last time. I was gone for a month.
An update on, when was the meeting with the public works?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't think we had one in the last month. Okay.
Update from, wait a minute, wait a minute.
You're
wait a
on-
minute, I'm on the
I know.
wrong- I'm sorry, guys.
It's all right.
Ruben just gives me these papers.
Think you could read.
All right.
Number one,
You start over.
Town park trees.
town, actually, I do see that we have to approve a couple months back of minutes.
We did that.
When did
That's
we
what
do
we-
that?
You
We just did it.
That was just the most recent.
You just approved them all.
We approved them all.
So efficient.
You were very
So
efficient,
efficient.
yeah.
We did it, and we did it, so.
So, public comments.
Anybody?
Line either.
So there are no public comments on the town park trees. Discuss planting of 4 replacement trees in 2025.
I have just
I don't have.
kind of a
anything-
question and a comment, and he would be able to answer it the best. 2 of the trees that got cut down have a lot of suckers. Obviously, with a fruit tree, you just want to get rid of it because the sucker isn't the same as the tree. But with those trees in the park, aren't the suckers the same as the tree?
But they'll never be healthy as you want them to be. They will.
If you cut them all but one, they still wouldn't grow into, okay.
So I would like to say something with regards to that, like, I just feel like if Public Works is cutting trees down, then we should be replacing them, just across the board. There were 4 cut down, we need to get 4 in before the end of this year.
We planted 1.
Well, that's sort of an Arbor Day tree, so that was an extra, it wasn't like 2 were cut down behind the bandstand and 2 at the kids' park, so we should sort of designate them in those same areas.
That coffee tree guy too.
Coffee tree's dead.
So therein lies the problem. Water. We don't have a good watering system in place. So that's why we can't plant anything.
Well, we have a public works with it.
Has that worked?
Well, they just bought a water system.
Just, when we,
What Mike has looked into
Yeah,
that.
I've looked into that. I mean, I'm getting that cart ahead of the horse on item 3. Yeah, I had him look at it. I was worried about that irrigation system. It's just garbage. And it's a bigger problem than I thought it was. Fifth Street Park is tied into the city park. They're all tied together. And basically, if you replant a tree, it has to almost be in the same vicinity the old one was, so that it gets water there, which it's like monocropping, and that's a problem. So you can't vary from where it's planted very, I would guess.
You should be able to stay in the vicinity. It's tough and as large as those trees are, you can't replant those locations.
Well,
It stumps.
I don't know the water flow, like everything would have to be pre-approved by,
Yeah,
Mickey would need to look at them.
Yeah, I mean, we need to make sure that the water lines aren't gonna be dug up when we're planting a tree. But other than that, I think we should be able to plant pretty much anywhere.
Have you ever put in an irrigation system before?
Yes.
Yes, but not like.
No, the irrigation system
Not
goes in
something
before
that's-
any planting gets done.
I know,
Are you guys,
but you know
are
where
you
it's at.
thinking, I'm sorry, are you talking about getting a new irrigation system for the town
If
park?
we ever get one,
Yeah,
That's gonna
you know,
cost
there's,
like
we're,
$500,000.
I've had them look at Geico funds, which aren't available right now for, getting the new irrigation system. And, so I don't know.
So then what's our option in terms of, I mean, it sounds like we're kind of talking ourselves in circles here, right? Like, we need an irrigation system, we need a way to water, we need to plant, we're cutting down trees, like.
so,
You're asking,
so based on what you said, my question to the board, is anyone confident that we could plant a tree today and it would get water
No,
and live?
Yeah, I don't know, because I just don't even really understand where the our irrigation system's trash, and then the last meeting that I attended, I think the conversation was that we couldn't pay a public works, it wasn't in the budget to pay a public works employee to water the tree specifically. Because someone was saying they could go out there and move a hose, but that was gonna cost a lot of money. So, do we need to sign up for like a rotating schedule and everybody takes a week? I don't care, I'll do that, but I agree with you, Christina, that we're cutting down trees, they don't grow fast, so we better start doing something about it.
What did they do in the 1920s when they planted all those
I
trees?
know, I don't know, I'm just
I mean,
saying,
like, we're in,
yeah,
we're in the.
I'm just saying, at the
20th
end of the
century.
day, right, if this is a conversation we're gonna continue to have, that we gotta do something about it at some point, it sounds like we gotta start with the watering system.
I think that this isn't a problem we're gonna solve independently, and we need to have a meeting with the people that have to do we're not gonna sit here and solve this problem by ourselves.
Right.
We need to have a meeting with the people who are in charge of the watering, are in charge of those people in charge of the watering. Because we can talk about this forever, and it doesn't matter what we say if we don't have buy-in from those people.
public works, yeah.
Or access to water, right?
That's just,
Yeah, but they won't legally let us just independently on our own.
No, I know, that's what I mean, it's we don't have access to the water to go do it ourselves really, so it's
Or we have, it has to be because it's on
public land, yeah,
it has to be okay with them.
yeah.
I mean, the tree board could sort of facilitate a volunteer effort. We could kick that off. There's great volunteer efforts in different municipalities. For some reason, it's not kicked off in this town.
My
and we need it.
understanding is you can't have volunteers doing something like that without the approval of the administration here. You can't just go start doing maintenance on a public land.
Yeah.
And that would be considered maintenance.
Right, but if the tree board were willing to foster that in accordance with the trustees and the town administrator, it needs an organizational hub to do that. It's a big project.
Right,
Yeah.
and that means getting people together who are parties that are interested, you know,
I think
part of it.
that's-
We have to have a meeting, but like, this is the third time we've had a discussion about those. And we don't,
If we look further down, so two things. Mike said cart before the horse, so we can't plant any trees till we know how they're gonna get water. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and we need not just, you need the irrigation
Yeah.
water. This is, you're in the parks. To mostly, they water grass, they don't provide an adequate amount of
Right.
water for trees. And newly planted trees need extra supplemental water. It's just the way it is. And particularly when you're facing this year where it is so severely dry. And if we don't have the rain to give you a little supplemental water that way, we still have to, any new trees have to be put on a water schedule for 2 to 3 years. And then, once they're established, they should be able to at least survive on the water they get through the system, the irrigation system.
so is there a way we can request a meeting with whoever's in head?
Hang on. Two things. One was the cart before the horse. We gotta figure out how to water. If we look at subcommittee updates, there is a subcommittee, watering new trees. I don't know who's on the subcommittee. I don't know. I have to plead ignorance, guys, but there's a subcommittee. And I don't know.
But
who's on it.
is that a
That's
tree
exactly
board
what, that's
subcommittee?
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Watering new trees, working with town. It's exactly what you outlined. So
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It's gotta meet with the town, figure out a watering plan, plant the trees.
We're here.
Yeah.
Let's wait till we
Okay,
get down there.
okay, we can discuss
I
that.
thought we talked, because I haven't been to a meeting for this last one. So discussing plan for replacement trees is also, when we get to item 4, town park priority, that will tie into this item number 1.
Okay, great.
We discussed that. So I agree, we should be replacing trees, but we can't till we get a known watering system in place.
Well, we gotta get buy-in from Public Works to help us.
Yeah, see if it's.
And that's
doable.
not a priority in their life.
That did not go well with that
No.
tree we planted.
We've got an awful
Until we
lot.
solve that problem, that a buy-in from Public Works, that they're gonna help us water trees or provide us a method that we can have volunteers water trees using a town piece of equipment. That's the only way we can move forward. We can't I agree, there's a lack of foresight if we're gonna be planting trees and not have a way to take care of it.
Does anyone know if that tree is living that we planted on our?
It is, I checked it today. It's been watered.
Yes.
And they put a guard around it, thank God.
Yes.
Put
I
a
asked her to
guard
do it. She said she was gonna do it, then she didn't. Then I asked her, I guess it got.
It's there now, yeah. It seems to be doing okay.
Okay.
It survived the 4th of July, right, with all those people, so that's good.
Any more discussion on?
Well, we could decide, we could talk about what we would plant.
That will be covered under number, item 4.
Okay,
I think we can talk about it.
we're getting there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I totally agree. We just gotta get the cart before the horse. Number 2, discuss details of sick tree day. Where's John?
Yeah.
John handled that so well.
John's got the template, so he is sending it to me or Paula, and then we'll get that to Samira or Ruben, and we will
Excellent.
just put it out right away.
What is Sick Tree Day?
Tree Day is gonna be on August 16th.
August 16th, it's what, I don't know, it's just a page one, but it's where we ask citizens that are concerned about their trees to sign up, and we go around as a pretty big group, as it seems to be, and look at their trees and offer up a solution to solve their problem, whatever it is.
Typically, in the past, we've had arborists, we've had bug guys, bug women,
Mm-hmm.
other horticulturists that specialize in trees, and it's been great.
Awesome.
It's been really good, and we cover, not the whole North Fork, but we cover a pretty wide swath from up on the mesas above Hotchkiss to the mesas on the north side of
do we do like a mailer? So we're talking about the promotion of it. Do we do a mailer? Is it just something that appears on the website?
Yeah, I think
Do you
so.
remember that? It's announced a couple different ways.
It's on the website and then it's posted in town, like right up front there.
I think KV and F, didn't they?
We can also use text like that if we notice that.
Oh, that would be awesome, actually. I love those
Use
text
what?
updates.
Text like that.
You guys signed up for the text updates, the town text updates?
Kind of
They're
sends a
great.
big via text.
I love them.
It would be nice to have KV and F.
I wouldn't be, I also work at Remax and do office stuff and I have access to office equipment. And I would be happy to like maybe print a mailer, donate stamps and use my time to mail something out and we could have something,
Does,
It's
an
like,
official flyer of some
is,
sort.
is John gonna kind of give his structure of how he did it?
he's giving the, he's sending the template. All we have to do is change the dates.
And
There's
typically,
10 slots.
yeah, every
It's
slide
like-
gets.
It's a half hour.
Oh, it's 10 slots. Okay,
I
so
mean,
we
it's
don't need to
not-
promote it really.
We don't-
Okay, okay.
We're gonna fill up.
I thought this was like, tell us about your sick
No.
trees. Okay, never mind.
Fills up pretty
Okay,
quick.
great.
It's just, yeah, Saturday, what, you say half hour, so it would be 5 hours,
Okay.
Start at 9.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a little notice on the desk there about it?
We usually finish with the counter.
Yeah.
9 to 2:30. Here's that template. I mean, that we used last. Yeah, and he's
Oh,
just sending
nice.
that, you know, change the date and
So
get
you
it out.
guys were spot on a light tree.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, as soon as you said, something cut it down, it's gonna die.
I've got a
So
tree
you
in
must
front
leave
of
it
my
for-
house that looks sad.
Yeah, all right, there's,
So then to finish up, then typically we pay for the specialists, we take it to lunch.
Oh, nice, okay.
So that's part
That's
of,
you.
that's one of our
That's
budget.
um,
But
You're taking time to lunch, perfect.
But that is one of like a budget line item is luncheon with the sick
Yeah.
treat day
Because
specialist.
we've partnered with Cedar Ridge before, and there's their chairman, Jim Lesser,
I just talked.
and he's an entomologist, trained entomologist.
That's cool. This is probably a bigger conversation, so I'll just briefly talk about this, and I suspect this is probably me signing myself up for this job if it's something we're interested in. Have we ever thought about creating like a tree Instagram or something, and then in situations like this where we could do a little film of an entomologist or an arborist who's giving some advice, and it's something we could throw online that the town could continue, you know, people could continue to access or do something interesting. It could help promote Arbor Day, things like
we
that.
have a Paonia Facebook page, Paonia Tree Board. But if you.
We do, okay.
And we have the town website that has pictures of sick tree day.
Yeah, just because I think that would be interesting, like that's something that, you know, I would love to go back and listen to an arborist talk about a tree in my area, stuff like that, so.
It's not difficult to embed a video.
I was gonna say, if you guys are into it, I would be happy on Sick Tree Day to maybe do some filming. People who would be on video if that's
See
something
what
they're
happens,
interested in.
see what
I'll ask Taya.
quality it is, and if
Yeah.
it's something you want to share.
Doesn't have to be like a 30-minute video, but it could be interesting for people, create some engagement around the trees in town, you know, so.
So this is July, what, 15th?
Mhm.
1 month.
Sick tree days in 1 month. We don't have a meeting, or do we have a meeting before that day?
Well, we'll do next meeting.
Next thing is the 16th.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's around
16th.
that.
It says, or,
I can't
Now
remember.
it's gonna be the 19th, I think. It's the third Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
So
after.
it's the 19th, it's after
Yeah.
Sick Tree Day.
yeah.
So that means we won't have a meeting before sick.
No, we can,
As soon as Christina has the template, she can send it over and we'll get going on it.
yeah, if you send it, get it.
That's just one
signed
piece.
up.
We have to get the specialist involved and calling whoever we can find.
That's
Jim.
That's, Jim, I
Tom's on-
Jim is
yeah.
not available, with my understanding.
Oh, he's
Jim
not.
is not available for
No,
this.
it's me.
Yeah.
You got me and me.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
It's awesome.
Jim, he just, but he's not sick still, is he?
I think he's just not up to it.
Okay, sure.
Is there someone else we can try to recruit? I'd be
I don't
happy to help
believe so. I
out.
don't think you can-
CSU, maybe.
I don't think there's anybody, I don't think you could get, it's with this shorter notice, I don't think you
But
can.
Tom, you're-
We
You're
lost some
everything
key
we need.
people over the years.
Yeah,
One gentleman passed away. Jim has been fighting leukemia or cancer.
okay.
Though I just talked to him a couple of weeks ago. That same bug, that same thing on my beef, my book. Anyway, so we don't have, and the CSU folks,
They'll have a tree specialist.
we just haven't talked to them in a while.
So,
I'm happy to call
Call Cammy Long and see, you never know.
them. The worst they can do is tell us no, and then we still just have Tom. Not that just have Tom, we still have Tom.
Tom's awesome. Just
You
gonna
said
say that.
Cammy Long, is that her name?
Tell her it's a free lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bribery.
And you said, sorry, what time was that on, what time is it on?
We'll meet at the park, and the event starts at 9 o'clock, so meet at the park like, what, quarter to?
Yeah, I think if we
8:30,
just
quarter to
miss,
9.
plan on meeting 15 minutes early, so we can get our logistics together. Somebody can figure out, hopefully, I don't know the temp.
45.
Okay.
Put
It
the
goes
schedule
until-
together,
Yeah, we have to map that, how we are gonna.
so we efficiently, semi-efficiently go through town.
I'll do that before that.
Yeah.
Send it out, yeah.
You say goes till about 2:30?
What?
2:30, about?
It ends at about 2:30, so that gives us 10 slots at half hour each.
Well, do you guys remember, did we go to lunch and then go back? and then
No,
go
we,
trees?
no.
We ate at 2:30.
We ate late.
Yeah.
Okay, ate late.
I've been doing it every 4 years I've done this. I still don't remember the whole lunch, so, okay.
All right.
All right, I'll let you guys know when I find out.
Okay, doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, that's
Sure, and do you guys know if there's anyone at the CU Extension office in Hotchkiss, just up on Rogers? Is that man with anybody?
Yes, it is.
Are they tree people? Because I know they're fruit tree people.
Some are tree people.
You guys
Well,
know?
if I get a no from Cammy.
And
then I
ask
know.
Cammy if she can recommend
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yeah,
I
Cammy
mean,
might.
there might be somebody with extension, I don't know.
Cammy was the one that did our tree inventory.
Well, they know.
I'll call her out a little bit and see what I can find out.
She's the Colorado State Forester,
Cool.
with forest and,
Cool.
you know, she's basically in charge of community forestry down on the west slope.
She spent a lot of time with him.
Neat, okay, cool.
Okay, I will be done with that one.
Yeah, we're the,
Cruising.
nursery.
Too bad public's not here because
You know, did you know that?
I don't, yeah,
Wow.
They put in a whole new. It was supposed to be for about 6 months and then they redid it.
oh, the one on Rogers Basin, yeah.
No, the one on the other side of the hill, the big
Fort
one.
Collins, yeah.
I didn't even, it's reopened. Or it's reopening.
All right, it's back.
Okay.
All right, Mike, take it away.
Okay, well, when they assigned me to this, all I was told is I'm a spy. I report back to the board on what goes on, but like I said, I have been trying to work on that irrigation system. That's kind of political and.
Yeah.
Not that I'm having any luck, but I take a shot at it.
First, we gotta find money for it and then go from there. It's gonna be with mature trees in the park, it's gonna be tough putting in an irrigation system.
I know you're gonna, yeah.
You can't work off the existing system, right? You said it's
Probably
kind of
not.
this.
I think, nobody even knows how old it is. Let's put it that way.
You should get a hold of Mike Altenhoff, who did the heck of a job taking care of all those parks for like a decade.
I think you just watered every day.
I think he just watered every day. That's why it looks so good.
Well, it's an old antiquated system, so it's definitely, yeah. Now,
So-
maybe there's other ways to do it, I don't know.
So they didn't give you, other than just say you're to tell us what goes on, and there was no other instruction?
Well, all I've talked to has been Sam and Nikki. And they both looked into Geico funding for the irrigation system. And I don't know how much they sort of run into roadblocks.
I'm talking more about your role on this board, like how they said.
What's my involvement? Like I said, my designated orders were report back to town
And then
council.
how do you see your role?
I don't know, actually, I ended up on town council because I applied for this job. And I got reassigned to council, so.
Well, I have a suggestion, kind of running with what you're saying, does anyone have any questions or comments that we'd like Mike to take back to the trustees?
So that's what I'm asking him. Do you feel like what I hear you saying is, my understanding is I was just to report to them what was going on, but do you see yourself as a two-way intermediate, like for us to be able to communicate to them? Or do you just see yourself as a set of ears?
I'll do what you asked me to do.
In the past, the
Is
previous.
that what you want me to do?
No, I want to understand,
Be a liaison.
you know, what it is that you feel you're supposed to do and what it is you feel comfortable doing and are willing to do.
Oh, I don't know if I have a moral code.
So would you be willing to be a sort of a person that can not only report to them what you see and
Be a
hear?
negotiator?
Not negotiate, but just a communication line?
That's basically what I'm doing.
So you wouldn't mind, you know, like right now we have this thing where we need to find out about something that we need to involve other people in to resolve. And we are gonna need to have a meeting. So just as an example, not to say that specific thing, because we're not on that point of.
I've kind of run that by the board, and basically we've got so many projects going on right now. There's the water, we've got a sewer problem, we've got the Fifth Street thing. And then there's just stuff that just keeps popping up.
So Ruben was going to say something.
In the past, the liaison would be just that, the liaison between the board and the tree board.
So two-way
Where you get to
communication.
two-way communication. Yes, you have concerns or issues that you want to raise to the board, you give it to Mike brings it to the board.
That would be I didn't want to assume, you know what I mean?
That's what's supposed to happen.
Typically, Kimberly, John, our liaison, he reported what the public trustees were up to. And then we addressed things that we're concerned about, keep it back to the.
Well, I asked the question in general, but also because we've had a specific issue today where we need to meet up with people other than our group. And it seems like he might be helpful in facilitating some communication around that.
Can you bring up what you're talking about?
What I'm talking about is item number, I try to avoid talking about previous items or future items, unless but we talked about the watering the trees.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought you were talking about.
I
So,
was trying to keep it general, so I wasn't going back to a previous point.
so that's one thing on your.
I've already talked to them about it, the consensus, they're just as labor, they're paying overtime now.
But will they meet with us? That's the question we have. Will they meet with us so that maybe we can ask if we can water? Can we do some kind of a release where we can water?
But you'll have to bring water to you, anything that involves it.
Well, but we need to have a discussion with the people who would be in charge of that decision making, right?
It's,
I mean, are they just, if it's communication both ways, are they just saying, we're not gonna do anything to help water the trees? Is that what they're saying?
Pretty much. That's the message I've got.
yeah, that's pretty much.
And we're not gonna allow you to water the trees?
No, that's not true.
So then we would have to have communication around, can we water the trees and what do we need to do in order to be able to do that?
The person to talk to is Nikki. I mean, she's basically unofficially the last word on it.
Right, what the thing I'm trying to get to is, in these situations, they don't want board members going to administrators and other people. They want it to go through someone like you, because they get frustrated with, you know, in the past, in these kinds of boards, people will get demanding or whatever, and then it creates hostility between the board and those members. So that's part of the purpose of having these liaisons.
Yeah, well, yes, I'll report everything I've heard.
Uh-huh. So can we ask you to ask them if we can have a meeting around whether we can?
We have a standing meeting with Public Works.
Right, but they aren't the ones
That's
that,
the one you gotta get by.
That's who we start with.
That's the one you
We
gotta
have,
get
we have
by.
a standing meeting with.
okay, so that solves that, but in general, in these situations, they try to avoid people on boards going to employees and other people. They want it to go through someone like this because it creates issues. Isn't that what you have seen in the past? They don't want people on boards going to employees or other people.
Boards cannot direct staff.
Pardon?
Boards cannot direct staff.
So that's how it's worded legally. The boards cannot direct staff. And if you're going to try to get something from someone, somebody can misinterpret that, and that's why it's best to use a liaison, and then it's,
We also have a standing meeting with Steph,
okay.
and this is the stuff we will bring up, and we have brought it. It has not worked well.
And
There's been no follow through on Public Works' part. I'll just say it as straight as I can.
so maybe the option is then, and first of all, these standing meetings, can any of us attend from the board? No.
No, it's
Just you guys?
it's just Jeff, Greg and I.
Okay, great.
But we can take anything to,
Okay, great, because I was gonna say maybe what the better option is, since they seem to be really busy with a million other things, which I get, because running a town is more than just planting trees. Maybe for us then, the option is to put together what a volunteer program might look like and come to them with that fleshed out already, because then they don't have to think about how to make it happen. Does that make sense? And it doesn't cost them anything.
we get to number 4, that's
Okay, cool.
exactly what Stefan asked us. He says, why can't we do a volunteer?
Great, so we'll maybe come, great, okay.
Okay,
And that was several
doing all
months.
that, how you gonna haul water, where you getting it from, et cetera, et cetera.
Do the water taps in the park not work? Can you just get a hose and like turn on the
Yes,
water tap and,
Yes, they do work, and
right,
Corey was gonna give me a key, and then Corey left. and-
All this stuff was
Okay.
getting set up and then it just kind of dropped.
okay, well, let's
Not
undrop
like-
it.
And all the details worked out.
Great. That's what I mean, it's like, we'll come up with, like, if that's the case, like, I can come up with a one pager that says, this is what we wanna do. And I'm not necessarily volunteering us from the board, but I'm saying maybe if I say Tom gets 1 week, I get 1 week, you know what I mean? Like, everybody just takes a week, then your week doesn't come around for a few months, it's not a crazy hardship, and if nobody wants, somebody doesn't wanna do it, I can do it more than 1 week, I'm happy to help out. And it's something that we can like try to facilitate, because otherwise, what I'm hearing is Public Works is saying no, the town is saying no, we can't have water, and then we're not gonna plant trees if we don't have water.
I can explain more when we get to number
Okay. Cool.
about past meetings
Cool.
with both Stefan and Tom.
That's not me blaming anybody or saying anything, I'm just saying like, yeah,
And, one of the things on the water thing, planting a small tree would take less water. Just less work getting it started. I mean, you're watering a tomato plant, basically. If you plant the smaller tree versus plant,
Chances.
if you go whole hog,
You know,
plant a 3-4 foot. really-
Those little trees in a park with kids and dogs and bicycles, and if you ever walked over by
I encourage you guys to attend the next board meeting, because they're talking about water restrictions.
great.
Phase 1 water restrictions,
Next week?
possibly phase 2 water restrictions, because they're doing that tank switch.
oh,
We're
sure,
going from a 2 million gallon tank to an 800,000 gallon tank.
for a short period of time.
Till November,
How much?
December.
till November. So.
There'll be no trees being planted.
Great, 2026 is our year.
With that said, maybe we plan for 26.
Well, but hang on, guys, when we get to number 4, we don't use domestic water the trees.
Okay,
Wait till we get to that.
Okay.
Thanks. So everything you said makes sense, and I think you'll see that it's in play, and that's the way Stefan wanted to do things. Is meet with us directly,
oh, cool.
not through a liaison,
Okay,
which was really good.
yeah, if he's willing to do that, but I'm not just speaking about that, I'm speaking in general. Like, I was asking, does he see himself, what he's saying is liaison in the view of the town is someone who's a two-way communicator. He was under the understanding, from what I'm hearing him say, that he was just supposed to report to them. And what I'm trying to do is get a general idea, like, this is one issue, but we're gonna have other little and big things come up where you might not be able to address it with Stefan, or, like, that's supposed to be a resource.
As Ruben said, in the past, it's been a two-way communication. It's been a liaison that takes
Mike's
things
just
to
been
the.
with us for 2 or 3 months.
It's exactly as written.
4 months.
Okay, so are we done with that topic?
You never put it
It's a learning process.
for me,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Mike, anything we want to talk about that we think is important for you to bring to
And you
the
want me to, yeah,
trustees, we'll talk about it at our meetings.
yeah, same rules, you know, the open meeting and all that. It isn't like I could.
Yep.
I got that problem too.
We know, we know.
All right, subcommittee updates. Let's start with the town park priority. I don't know why it's called town park priority, but. So Ruben, thank you for doing this. We had this done probably 3 months ago and it just never got, and it was my fault. I never got to put in the packets. I wasn't following protocol. Nikki didn't, Sam didn't get it set up. So this has been sitting for 3 months. So what I'd like to.
Sure, so, I'm sure to,
Yeah, packet. I guess we can,
You want to start?
yeah, where I want to start. I would like to start. Ruben, can you bring any of those up? Okay, let's start with the town park area. Thank you. So, guys, this is down and dirty. So that map is just showing places we've talked about over the years. And then more specifically this year, of potential places to plant trees in the park. And what those stars mean is if you, the top of the screen, that's the playground area. Over to the left, that's the peony beds along, what street is it, North Fork?
North Fork.
The star in the lower left corner, that's the entrance, main entrance to the park. The other star, you see kind of in the middle of that, that's in front of what the large shelter. And then the star to the bottom right, that's the entrance to the Smith Center. So those are just areas we threw up there because we've talked about those areas and they're potential places for new trees. And specifically, we were looking at the time of possibly accent trees, meaning understory trees, trees that flower. Because right now, there's no diversity in the park. It's 4 species, I'm making this up, there's 4 species, and they're all big shade trees. There's no flowering trees except the catalpa, and that's considered a flowering tree. The linden's a flowering tree, but ornamental trees.
The caliph is a flower.
Yeah, I should say ornamental understory trees. There's no place in the park for those. So that's kind of what some of those areas, those stars mean. Now, Ruben, you can go to any one of the town park JPEGs. This is just, again, real quick so we can see them, see what the areas look like. So there's the peony beds that we're talking about. There's some voluntary catalpas that are already growing in them. We have,
Love those catalpas.
we talked about several ideas for that and we'll continue to talk about, but that's just one area. You can choose another one. So there's the playground. It could use some shade trees. It could use flowering trees as well. I just wanted to get that in front of you so we all kind of know what we're talking about. Next one, Ruben. Okay, so this is the entry to Smith Center. You know, it's pretty barren. It could use, it could lend itself to some ornamental understory trees as well at that entry. And then I think the last one's going to be the main entry to the park. We talked about this a few months ago. Potentially, it could use some color, use some ornamental flowering trees. So that's town park. Any questions or comments?
Where that top star is,
Huh?
I remember John saying he got called in for a tree there that was dying. And it turned out that it was lack of water.
There is a tree in like a plant And it never gets water, because it doesn't get anything from the irrigation, because no irrigation's there. It's just put in a bad place, because no one's gonna water it.
But we've asked,
Yeah,
for sure,
we've
probably
asked.
about half a dozen times.
There you
And
go.
now it has scale apparently, because people are commenting on Facebook, that poor tree, it's got scale, it's been distressed for so long.
It's just.
So it's.
part
But I
of
wasn't trying to take us backwards, I just
No,
didn't know
no, that's
if
fine.
people knew that John had been called in about that, and that's what he determined.
I think he determined about those other trees that were taken down, the one. That was
Who is John?
John Valentine.
John Valentine? Oh, yeah, we noted that tree that's dying with Public Works, with Corey.
Yeah.
On a walk about 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
And then last year also.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I think it's stressed beyond,
It is, it's too bad.
it was a great tree.
Yeah. Well, I'll make a comment. My concern about planting ornamental trees, I'd say at the entrance, the main entrance to the park, potentially even the Smith Center entrance, is sun. There's so many overhead trees that new trees aren't gonna get a lot of sun at those two places.
And other resources, the water, the trees are out to keep the young trees for the water.
So it's tricky, it's tricky. The peony beds, I think there's potential there. We talked about maybe volunteer groups, each maintaining a bed. Just fun ideas like that. So I think that area could potentially work to get some color in the park. And then, of course, the playground you saw is pretty open. But this is all just a pipe dream until we can figure out how to water these things.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation can't really go
Yeah.
anywhere until
Yeah.
They can be water.
So
I think they are the watering trees, like they're watering that, the oak that we planted with domestic water. I mean, they're having to get that water, where are they getting it? It's not coming from the,
it's not coming from
they're
Stewart,
getting it
Stewart
in
Ditch.
that cistern.
But they can get it from Stewart Ditch, can't they?
I don't think they're
That's where the
getting-
water.
One day when I was there was a surface level pipe that looked like it had been hooked into a sprinkler and came across to where that tree was. So maybe they are tapping into
You know,
this.
they could be good using a hookup, but
Yeah,
To the Stewart, okay,
Yeah.
good.
because that park is watered with Stewart Ditch water, not domestic water.
Park is.
The park, yeah.
You know, there's a drain of irrigation water going by. it.
Yeah, I know.
In farm country, that water would just borrow.
Yeah.
Recycling it is.
Yeah. You'd open a gate at night when no one was paying attention.
That
You're
is Stewart
sanctioning
Ditch.
us to do that, that's what I'm hearing, yeah.
Maybe you could have, I don't know whose water that is.
That's Stewart Ditch.
Yeah, when I first moved here, I heard the thing that said,
Water.
you can mess around with my wife, but don't mess around with my water.
So whiskey's for drinking. And water's for fighting.
Bring up, Lee's Park, please.
What's that?
I asked you
Oh,
to
bring up
Lee's
these.
Park. So Lee's Park is what Mike was alluding to. It's connected. The irrigation system is connected to town. Park.
Wow.
That's how kludgy the system is. It is. I don't know anything about it, just I learned that, I think, last summer.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
And there are no, how do we know that it's connected? Like, are there schematics of it somewhere? Did somebody just tell
Public
you?
Works.
Okay.
Public Works.
But it's been working
Yeah.
for the last, decade plus,
But yeah,
greening the grass on both of those, so
Yeah.
I'm not understanding. Is there a pipe break in one, or
we had that one guy you mentioned.
Mike Altenhoff did it, and then, for like $52,000. And then Public Works took it over, and the budget is like now 250,000. So, but it was working at one point, but when Public Works took it over, it was frozen. There were like frozen pipes that summer, and it didn't get watered for like a year and a half, literally. Then it finally came online, and I'm not sure what the reasoning is. If both parks are being watered, it's like, that's been the system for so long and it's been working. So it's like, there's something else going on.
It's a priority, I think. We know.
Well, I noticed this spring, a heck of a lot less water.
It should be. Exactly.
Pardon?
There was a heck of a lot, I go to that park almost every day. And this year, it's my observation, and I'm not a perfect human being, obviously, that there's a whole lot less water in Fort.
I'm on the Cherry Days committee, we are. I was shocked to see how bad the park looked.
It's like for months, they didn't, and I'm not
Well,
saying that they should, maybe there was a reason, I'm not criticizing them, I'm just making an observation, there wasn't water.
Same with us. And you can tell where sprinkler zones aren't working, because that's where the grass is dead. And
Well, I don't know that
there's-
it's not working out, but they're just, look, what it looks like to me is, you know, I have no idea what happens, but if you were just making a guess, like they go out there, you know how they do that, they screw in those sprinkler heads? It looked like they were doing it in zones.
They have to.
Well, they didn't, like last year, they would have the whole football field side going at once.
It's weird, isn't it weird?
It's a
I've
different
seen the
thing. I
same
think the
thing.
town park is on, like they have to manually
Yeah.
open certain segments.
It's so kludgy.
Well, whatever, overall, they've been watering it a lot less and a lot less at once.
Well, if they have sapping issues, which I'm sure
That might be it.
with Corey leaving that.
Because it is
puts them
really-
behind the
It's a
bushes.
pain in the ass to like go around and find all those things and screw them in. And
You learn, but yeah,
They have a new gal, and she's learning. Her job is.
well, even if you're really skilled at it, it's still a pain in the ass.
Yes, I agree. So up on the screen, that's Lee's Park. So you enter Lee's Park from the bottom, and I guess it's the west side, but that might get screwed up.
Yeah.
But Lee's Park is just this kind of oval football field, it's about 300 yards long maybe. So one idea over the years of the tree boards talked about putting an arboretum. That might be a good spot for an arboretum. So what I showed really crudely, basically you'd have the blue area on the left side, that would be a parking lot. And then that's a path system that winds through the park. And typically arboretums are zoned, riparian trees, conifers, and maybe trees from, it's an experimental garden, maybe trees from Asia. Yeah, I don't know how they're done, but they're usually done in kind of groupings. And it's a place for people to learn. So that was just a down and dirty sketch to show, well, there's an idea for Lee's Park.
That's great. I think-
And you know, this hasn't been run by the trustees, it hasn't been run by the neighborhood, it has been run by nothing.
Sounds like we'd be digging a lot of paths, but that's okay.
Except, we've just been talking about that for a few years. Any comments on that? I mean, should be something we should pursue, want to pursue, table it?
I think it'd be really interesting. But I think again, everything comes back to watering, right? Like we
Yeah.
can't do anything until we get our watering system figured out.
and I think we can't do anything until the town figures out their water system.
Right.
Well, that's what you
And
Yeah, ultimately, right? But I actually think this is a great idea.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a great size for that idea, because it's not too overwhelming.
You're exactly.
And then I also think that there's not a lot going on right there, so it's a great chance
there's
to,
no trees in that park.
yeah, there's a great chance to really create some nice little habitats there, maybe for some pollinators or, you know,
Did you see
things
that?
that could really benefit.
Driven by like.
Yeah, I think that's a great,
So there's some
Yeah,
other
it's
areas we
great.
talked about, but that's just what I wanted to just throw out there to
Yeah.
discuss.
that's also a great opportunity. When I was a kid, we used to participate with the towns and at like school, it was like a great chance to learn about trees and learn how to create systems like that and like get kids to help us do the labor. Which I know sounds crazy, but it's a great learning experience for everybody.
So part of this exercise, guys, was over the years, we were scrambling on Arbor Day. Where are we gonna plant a tree? Where are we gonna plant trees? We need to plant trees. We never really knew. We never had a plan. So this is just taking baby steps to figure out where do we want to concentrate? You know, I outlined some places in Darrell Park that we can talk about. This, you know, it's a pipe dream right now, but it's still an option.
I don't think it's that much of a pipe dream. I think it's something that could absolutely be,
Love that option, that.
you know,
So Ruben, the last, Apple Valley, please. So Apple Valley Park, it's a way different feel than Town Park. It's got more open space And it's got perimeter trees, there's some trees in the middle of it, unlike Town Park, it's just all trees. So what I'm showing here, just conceptually, the bigger green circles would be shade trees. And you can see I concentrated some on the tennis courts because there's some bleachers there, and over the years, we've talked about planting Arbor Day trees on the, around the bleachers. And then I just threw some other groupings, clusters of trees, still keeping the open space feel, because it's a very different part of the town park. And then the yellow, the small yellow circles are ornamental, kind of accent the entrance and putting some around the park. So again, it's down and dirty. It's just an idea that we can make a master plan for our park. And no one's gonna do it but us.
You know what my question's gonna be, where's the water coming from?
Oh, yeah. This was well before, this was just to show that we have places to plant trees. Because we're always scrambling, where can we plant trees? What are we gonna do? Where's the master?
I love these. This is great. This gives 3 really big not big, but like manageable projects and ideas, like you said. I mean, once we do get our plan in place in terms of watering, it gives us, I think, things to strive for.
Well, and I mean, if you really, obviously, as we've talked about several times in different meetings, we would have to have community buy-in.
Yep.
So if you wanted to move forward with it, that's one area you could do, which doesn't require any expenditure or any labor or anything, like managing how you address this with the community as a whole, but especially making sure that the community's in those areas.
Probably subcommittees, again, I'm thinking the subcommittee that wants to work on police park, wants to work on Apple Valley Park and community involvement.
So you would have to head up that subcommittee.
I'll be your lackey. That's all right. And I think the community would want to get involved. I think there's a lot of people here that take pride in the way this town looks and the trees and the parks. And I mean, it's one of the nice parts about it, right? Is like having those public available spaces and continuing to care for them.
And in this part, they want to make sure that they can still do the frisbee.
Frisbee golf, yeah.
Yeah, there was a pickle race or a pickle fest last year.
Yeah.
This park. So this park is used very differently than.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so you have to keep that flavor of it.
Yeah.
So that's what I was
Yeah.
showing here. Yeah, I have no idea how the community views that park.
Yeah, especially the trees right on by the courts. That area, the bleachers are actually gone now. That area could really use some help because it's all gravel right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it was an old, I forget the history. Do you know the history of that? It was a gravel pit of something.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was a nasty area. I don't know if gravel pit's the right
It'd be
term.
kind of fun to
Apple Valley?
Yeah.
bring in,
All that gravel.
bring in a bunch of soil and make kind of a mound, and
Berm.
a berm, and then plant some,
Sure.
make an ornamental.
So
We're
again,
actually in Apple Valley going to put a rec center there with a pool and
They're
everything.
gonna put a rec
Yeah,
center?
a long time ago.
Oh,
in
I
the
was like, where?
70s.
What?
In the 70s,
Oh,
it was mapped
interesting.
out, it was, yeah.
I
And then
wish
it's
they
still-
would put a-
Yeah, that would be
I
nice.
mean, it's really a nice space. It has a pretty much broken down, one of those fitness.
Yeah, it has a little fitness path, yeah. It's cute.
That's enough for everything.
So any other comments on this before we leave?
No, thank you for your work. This is great.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for discussion. That's the whole point.
I think it's a great focus and maybe a good plan for 2026.
So number 4.2, watering new trees. So I'll just quickly give you what I remember. I buried my notes, guys, from meetings with both Corey and then Nikki.
And Nikki is,
Nikki's the new public works manager.
She's the director.
Nikki.
of public
she's the
works.
director, the one that in charge of all the people that maintain.
Yep.
Okay.
Because Corey left the town and then she got the job.
When did that transition one, but,
Months, maybe?
oh, so very recent.
Crazy.
Okay.
It
So
was-
she's like barely fresh in.
Yes.
Okay.
She worked under Corey for 2 years about.
Okay, so she has a little bit of experience in terms of,
She does.
okay, great.
She does. we talked about how we can get a volunteer effort to water trees in the park. She said she was gonna write up how the Stewart Ditch pump system works and train us. Well, that has never happened. And I'm not saying, I don't know why, I'm guessing things got busy and it wasn't a priority. I think that's a simple way to put it.
Mhm.
And then Corey left and she got a whole
Mhm.
new role. So that was one thing we did talk about, and that was 3 months ago, probably. Then the meeting with Stefan, which I alluded to earlier, was he really was getting excited about volunteer committees. And volunteer committees run the town
Mhm.
in a certain sense.
Mhm.
Cherry Days, the BMW rally, you do stuff at the museum, and it's all volunteer stuff.
Mhm.
Harvest Fest.
Say I'm on the Creative Coalition,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing that stuff, they're taking over
So-
Picking in the Park,
so-
there's a lot of stuff.
So Stefan perked up and what I think maybe you said it, Lisa, yeah, come to him, he wants to know good, better, best, he wants a solution. And and like a proposal,
Mhm.
here's what we're gonna do, maybe it's outlined. Somebody does a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or 1 week a month, whatever we do, he would be interested in hearing.
So I think the first step is to maybe talk to Nikki and say, hey, is there a day that a couple of us from the tree board, and I'm happy to do it if you guys don't wanna do it, I can go literally ride around with the public works employee to the parks and see what it looks like, right? So it's hard for us to come up with a plan when we don't know what we're planning for. So I think it involves us, if she doesn't have the time to sit down and write out exactly how it works, great, I don't care, I'll meet them at the park and just watch them work, right? And see what it involves, this watering that they're currently doing.
These are things that I'll take to Nikki at
Yeah.
our next.
And if she just has a couple dates that she could throw out there and say, hey, if you guys wanna, I mean, ride along is what I'm saying, but it doesn't have to be a ride along, like we can meet you at the park. For an hour or two and just kind of see what that looks like. And then we can come back here and say, all right, this is what's involved with watering. So what does that look like for a volunteer program then, right? Like, how long does that take? How many times a week? Who would be willing to be involved? Do we need to then reach out to the community at large and say, who wants to participate in this? But I think until we know what's involved with it, it's really hard for us to come to them with a plan.
Can we back up a
Don't know
second?
what to plan
Who
for.
was on this committee? I mean, I see a committee, who? was-
Yeah, I
was
just have
anybody
the
on it?
subcommittee, I have no idea.
Were you?
I do that anyway, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Christina is the subcommittee.
so right now, are you a one-person subcommittee?
Yes.
Okay, so volunteers need to.
Great, can I be your lackey and I will help?
Great.
Okay, great, you just tell me. But I think ultimately, if you can just go to Nikki and say, when are the times when Christina and Lisa can come, like, stalk your public employees and see how this watering happens? Cool.
That's a great.
I think that's the first start, right? Like, we gotta take a little step. And Christina, I'm happy to do it, you don't have to do it.
No,
So-
the thing is that we've done it and I can catch you up with that, which I
Okay.
with Corey, which I
Okay.
with,
Okay,
yeah. And we will do it again.
Okay.
Sounds great.
What is the name of the town mayor?
Paige.
Paige.
I know in the past, Paige has been very concerned about legal liability, so I think at some point, someone needs to ask whoever would be the person. Because probably we're gonna need to sign some sort of
You're
release.
gonna have to sign a waiver of some sort.
Did you guys talk about that?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think a lot of
A
this,
lot of this has already been.
it's been discussed for probably a couple of years. right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's all locked in here.
So maybe there is a day that works for both of us and Nikki, we'll go take a peek, and then I don't know what the meeting rules are about how we're all allowed to meet and talk.
True.
Okay, so then maybe you and I can sit down for like coffee or lunch something one day, and we can kind of get together a rough volunteer program plan that then I'm happy to type up, and the next meeting we can bring it here and we can all maybe discuss, or meeting up, whatever that time is.
Great, so we can put it on the agenda.
Yeah, exactly, so,
Send it to who?
Great.
When Greg
Right.
asked for,
and then I can email it to Greg and say, this is the volunteer plan, put it on the agenda, we can have the discussion and try to move forward from there.
Ruben, do you know if those standing meetings with Stefan and Nikki are still on the calendar. I didn't see,
I don't think so.
yeah,
I think that fell by the wayside.
I think it did.
I think you just have to, you know,
We
has to
had,
be on there.
we had monthly meetings, yeah, I can talk to Sam Rubin, or is that something you do? We were meeting like 2 and 3 in the afternoon, I forget which. I have to look back at my little calendar, but anyway, yeah, they're even off my calendar.
I know that there's an urgency to plant trees and get it all done. I sort of have a feeling that this is gonna be a 2026 endeavor in terms of planting the trees, because it sounds like we have our work cut out for us to figure out the water situation, and since we're doing this, obviously, public meeting records and agendas and all of these things, and there's procedure that comes with it. It's probably gonna be a little bit slower process than we want.
So
Which is
based on what you guys were just talking about, should do subcommittees, or just consist of 2 people? So we don't have to have.
Yeah, it sounds like that's probably,
It's still on the calendar.
It's still on the calendar? Okay.
It is.
Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I think so. What's the next date coming up? So subcommittees have to be just for the meeting.
That's right.
August 22nd.
August 22nd is the next one with Nikki. What about July? Patience, Mark, patience.
Yeah, because I didn't make the meeting, so I just have general view.
Right. I think Sam wants to do all of this.
While he's looking that up, can I make a comment? When we're thinking about this, I mean, planting trees, it would be looking at when do we have the most rain here to give them the best chance, right? Like in the fall.
You can't rely.
No, I'm not saying to rely on it. It just improves, like planting a tree in the middle of July versus planting a tree in the fall or the spring.
The best times to plant trees is probably in my mind from
Fall.
mid-March through June.
Um,
And then in the spring, 3 months in the spring, and then in the fall.
In the fall,
The
yeah.
problem with fall is you gotta winter water.
Oh.
And I mean, if we get this water thing.
Okay, then you've answered the question. We want to plant them in the spring.
yeah, so I think that gives us plenty of time to try to come up with a solution in anticipation of spring next year. Right? And then, Mark, you've put together these great options, which I think is a wonderful place to start. And it sounds like we had the money for the trees, right? So I think, yeah.
The big question is, does this money roll over?
Do we have to spend it this year?
We should spend some money this year, and that was that last meeting, which
Well,
was
that's it.
budget.
Well, if it got down to it, I mean, we could buy trees and.
The meeting time.
Repot them.
Do you need to make a motion to extend it?
That's fine.
I think we're just about done.
We'll sponsor trees. Okay.
There's a typo on the agenda here that I didn't notice. The next meeting is gonna be on August 19th, I think, so 16th is the Saturday.
So before the sick tree day, I'm gonna get that, those dates changed and put it up there.
Sorry, I
and
don't
the
have
annexes, I'm gonna,
16th.
and then I'm going to let people know as they sign in or whatever.
Yep.
The day before.
And Lisa's gonna try to get a hold of Cammy or one of
Oh, yeah.
her.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get a hold of him tomorrow. Or I'll call tomorrow and see what
Yeah.
happens,
So you can-
Like I said, we're no worse off if they say no, right?
No.
We've still
Well,
got
happening.
common as wealth of knowledge, so we'll take it.
All right,
Not-
Cool.
this is a quick meeting.
No.
Well, you have to, don't you have to?
No, we don't
We
have
just told me to stop.